These exercises are going to help you improve your ankle mobility, your hip stability, your core. They're great exercises to help improve the single leg stance test and your Y balance test. This is video 3, series of 5. Go back and check out the other 2. They are right before this, and that will give you more information as to why you're going to do these exercises. So for the first exercise, we're going to start with an ankle mobility exercise. And we're going to be down on one knee. And this is just like the test that we did in the prior video. So we're going to start with a stick. You could use a broom, have it upside down, or a Swifter. Use a hockey stick. This is I don't know what this is. It's just a pole. I'm going to set it up in front of my big toe. And I'm going to try and try and touch my knee to the pole. Now I have it in front of my big toe and between my second and first toe. And the reason for this is that's how our knee should track as we are walking. You can do 3 to 5 straight forward, and then you're going to go inside the pole, and then you're going to go outside the pole. Now, if your foot tends to roll out, when you go to that outside of the pole, you want to make sure that the big toe is not coming up, that you're making contact with the knuckle of your big toe and your pinky toe, that your foot is not rolling out. We want to make sure we keep that contact. The foot will roll out. That's what's supposed to happen in that position, but the big toe should maintain contact. So about 3 to 5 in each position, and then you can do the other foot. And we're going to try and go straight forward first. Now I tend to get a little pinch in the front of this ankle. So I'm going to give some support at the front of my ankle, push my ankle joint back as my knee goes forward. And that allows me to go forward just a little bit more to create some space in my ankle joint. It's in my talocrural joint. Then I'm going to go inside, keeping your heel flat, 3 to 5, and then outside, 3 to 5. It's a half kneeling dorsiflexion. This should feel good. It should feel like a stretch. Just feel like you're moving your foot. Notice I didn't say get there and hold there for 30 seconds. We are creating mobility. We are trying to move the joint and allow the foot to move with us. We allow it to pronate as we dip inside the pole, and we allow it to supinate as we go outside, but all the while maintaining 3 points of contact, which is super important when you're walking and when you're landing into your foot flat. It's also important as you're stepping upstairs. And if you are a cheer flyer and you want to maintain your balance, you've got to learn how to keep those contacts so you feel the knuckles on the floor. And this is a great exercise to help you get there. We're going to talk about a leg lock hip bridge. So it's single leg bridge, and we're going to lock the leg into our chest. This exercise will help improve your stability, and we're going to have some ankle dorsiflexion at the same time. This is my lovely cat, Snooka. Enjoy. He likes to be with me in my exercise, and we're going to try to keep him out of the way. So you stay there, Snooks. You're going to lie back with both knees bent. You're going to pull one leg into your chest, and we're going to lift the toes up on the down leg. From here, you're going to tuck your bottom and lift as high as you can and down. We're going to aim for 5 to 10 of those, working not to get the wobble, but really getting that hip extension. There's 5 on that side. I'm going to switch legs, pull the one leg into your chest, and I want you to hold it in there and lock it in, because that's going to not use that leg at all. And we're isolating on the other side. We're going to do 5 repetitions, and that's 5. That's your single leg locked hip bridge. Let's get after our next exercise. This exercise is a quadruped leg slide. This is going to work on your core stability. It works the back of your body, all 4s. I'm going to use a yoga block on my back. You could use a book if you don't have a yoga block, or any object will give you some feedback, has a little tiny bit of weight to it, but also challenges you to keep it on your back. So it's not so super easy to stay on your back, but something that gives you some feedback. The purpose of it is just to make sure that we keep our back still. So we're going to set up with our knees directly underneath our hips. If they're too close, we're going to dump out to the side. So make sure they are hip distance apart. And our hands, same thing, are going to be directly under our shoulders, just about shoulder to hip distance apart. We're going to put that block on our back. Snook is going to come out of the way and get right there. And we're going to slide one leg back. And keep your knee in contact with the floor, your toe in contact with the floor, and then lift up so that you are level with your body and come back down. You can either alternate legs, which I think is a good balance shift, making sure that you set back up into neutral each time that you come back down, or you can do the same leg all at once. And again, you're going to aim for about 5 to 10 reps on each side. I want that chin tuck, neck long back, or the back of the neck long, so that you're not dropping your head down to the floor. We're keeping the back nice and still. If this is pretty easy, you can turn that block onto its side and even put it more lengthwise this way, which will make it harder to keep on. And the goal here, if I can get it to stay on, is to keep your trunk still while you're moving your legs. And we're working on that core and hip stability, getting hip extension on the leg that's moving with hip flexion on the leg that's straight. For a flyer, this is what happens in an arabesque. We want it to be equal on both sides and coming back to center each time. That is a quarter head leg slide. Going to work on your hip balance and your core stability. This exercise is a half kneeling rotation. We're going to bring one leg forward. We're going to have it out to the side. So this knee is out to the side. You can see my ankle is right in line with my knee. The goal is for your hips to be level across, our ribs to be down, that we're not lifting our sternum, we are keeping that level. You can let the back toes relax. You can use a yoga block or a kettlebell or a dumbbell that is light enough for you to push overhead, but just a little bit heavy enough to give you a challenge. So if you're using the yoga block, give yourself a little pressure. Again, if you have nothing, it's fine. Clasp your hands together. The work is coming from the rotation. What we're going to look at here, we don't want the knee to drop in. We want to keep that knee out without lifting the knuckle of the big toe. So keeping the foot flat. We're going to pick up your dumbbell, your block, or just get your hands together. Drive your arms down. Keep your ribs down. We're going to give a nice rotation away from the up leg. Keeping that hip, you should feel some work in this outer hip, making sure you're not hiking your shoulders, keeping them down. How's your breathing? Mine's definitely starting to work. Is your foot rolling in? Is your knee rolling in? Or is it rolling out? Can you maintain those contact? Maybe try lifting the big toes if you need to. That'll help drive the knuckle of the big toe into the ground. We're just going to hold there a few breaths. Don't be surprised by Rousey, who's my other cat, coming in. And then come back to center. Put your weight down. Hello, Rousey. Bring your other leg up. Make sure that ankle is in line with your hips. We want a right angle here at the knee. Right ankle on the knee. Keeping the knee out. Check and see. Can you lift lift the tip of your big toe while keeping the knuckle down? Or do you have to lift your whole foot and does it roll out? Try and keep that flat. Come up tall. I'm going to rotate to the other side. Again, making sure that we're not hiking our shoulders. We're keeping the ribs down. And we are breathing. You can do 2 or 3 repetitions of these, working on holding for 30 seconds. As you're there, lift the tip of that big toe. Keep the contact with your pinky toe and the floor. And come back to center and let that come on down. That's a half kneeling rotation. So for our last exercise, you're going to need a towel that you can fold in half, just like a kitchen towel, or you can use a face cloth or a pillowcase. I've got my anatomy motion wedges. This is what I'm going to use to step on because it's easiest to see. You're not going to be able to see my face in this. We're going to focus on the foot, and we're going to work on a clock motion, just like we did in the Y balance, but we're going to actually have the wedge underneath our foot. We're going to play around with the position that feels the best, that keeps it in the best position for you. This clock exercise will help you to improve your control in your hip while creating some ankle mobility. It's a great exercise to regain that control. You don't have to do a lot of repetitions. You can do the reps that feel comfortable for you. You should feel some work with this, and your hip and your ankles should feel like they're moving. But I'm not looking to burn you out with this. It's just looking to correct and get you some better motion. So let's get on with this exercise. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet parallel. You're going to start with your wedge, towel, or face cloth underneath all of your big toes. You can see my block here comes right underneath the knuckles, so that my knuckles are actually in contact with the floor, but my toes are up. And the same thing with your towel. From here, we're going to work on reaching forward diagonal to the side, diagonal back, diagonal straight back, and then over to the side. And we're gonna do one more in the front. See what that feels like. If that feels good and you create and you can keep the contact, then you're probably in good shape there. If not, you could try that underneath the knuckle of the big toe. So it comes just to the tip, that knuckle part where the toes lift up, that should be supported so that you can maintain that contact. And then you're gonna do the same thing. Reach forward, out to the side, straight side. This is like a clock, right? You think of the analog clock, that'd be 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and over to 1 o'clock. If that feels more wobbly, maybe you try it underneath your pinky toe. This is movement exploration. Same motions. You're gonna work with what feels better, what feels the most stable, which one do you like the best, and definitely not one that hurts. You could also play with the back and put it underneath the outside part of the heel and then reach that. My leg is getting tired just as we speak. I don't know which one I feel most steady with. I can feel this one mostly in my hip, so that might be a good one for me. And then if that doesn't work, check it underneath your heel. So as you're starting to play with this, play with all of the motions and play the different position, and then pick which one feels the best for you. I don't think my knee likes this one. I think underneath, outside of my heel and my toes were the most. So I'm gonna actually take 2 wedges. I'm gonna put one underneath all my toes and the other outside my heel. And let's see what that feels like. Definitely creates some different mobility. Not sure, I think here. This creates a different motion at your big toe and the forefoot, which is your toes. Ooh, I like this actually. I feel like I'm most steady with this position. This might be where I play with. Like I said with these, there's no right answer. The right answer is what feels best for you. I've got a great hip workout in doing that. You're gonna do it on both sides if you need to. You might just focus on the leg that is the hardest to stand on, but play with what's missing for you and do what's best for you. That ankle clock will really work your ankle mobility, your hip stability. It gets your knee bending and flexing so that you can transition, which is what you need to do if you're a flyer, and it's what you need to do if you're going to walk and transfer upstairs. So creating good motion by letting the ground come up to meet your foot and allow it to feel and remember what it feels like to get that foot flat. All the other exercises are great. You're going to create some mobility. You're going to get strength in the hips. You're going to strengthen your core. And we're going to create better movement all throughout. When you come up into standing, it's harder. Getting that contact and working with the wedges, it's going to give you more feedback and will carry over for the long haul. This might be helpful for you if you are attending. You might practice doing your arabesque with a wedge in whatever position felt the best. It's meant to give you feedback so then you can remember what that feels like when you transfer that up into regular everyday life. So use these exercises to help create better mobility, reintroduce motion and movement back into your body and keep you feeling well. When you get used to these exercises, they'll become your warm-up. You don't have to do them all the time, but they're great to do before you're going to go and do an activity like working out or hiking or getting out and doing your flying. So play with them, see how they feel. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to know what's your favorite exercise, what's your least favorite exercise. Drop them in the comments below. And if these were helpful, please share them with somebody who needs to see it. Remember, it's a 5-part series, and this is part 3. We're going to go into our strength. So check out the next video.